Thanks for joining us from the Ohio AgNet Voice You Know with the News You Trust studio, sponsored by the Family Forest Carbon Program, where we help family forest owners get paid to improve the health of their woods. Stay ahead in soybean farming with the latest research and insights. Follow the Ohio Field Leader Program at ocj.com, brought to you by the Ohio Soybean Council and their checkoff. And celebrate the 38th Annual Armed Forces Day with the Findlay Military Association May 15th through the 18th at the Hancock County Fairgrounds. Visit findlaymilitarishow.org for a full schedule of events. Well, let's get an update from the Ohio corn and wheat growers.
Joining me is Wendy Osborne, Director of Market Development for Ohio Corn and Wheat. And you know, Wendy, when we started talking about checkoff dollars at work and farmers investing, we kept talking about all the potential uses where corn could replace other products. Are we making progress in that area? And is there anything that we should talk about in regard to how we can make a difference?
Yes, the United States is the largest producer of corn in the world. So we produce more corn here in the United States than we can consume. So it's important as we continue to feed livestock and increase ethanol production. We also look for new uses for corn, and that's in industrial applications, finding bio-based products to replace our petroleum-based products.
So when you say bio-based, again, a lot of times these are from crops or trees or other grasses and things. But boy, the uniqueness of how corn lines up with the chemistry that's in petroleum is amazing. So some of this has got to be really out of the box thinking, and you've actually got a contest related to that.
Yeah, so the National Corn Growers Association is holding their 5th Consider Corn Challenge, finding new uses for bio-based products. And so again, most people don't realize that petroleum-based products are widely used to make plastics and chemicals, household goods, clothing, all kinds of cosmetics. And so corn can be a substitute for that. And it's, again, one of the most affordable and abundant feedstocks.
So it sounds like the contest is there. Is there enough prize money to get people excited?
We have $300,000 to give to our top 3 winners, and the application is June 30th. So if they go to the NCGA website, they'll find all the application and all the information about the contest.
And again, that's ncga.com. Check it out. The deadline is June 30th. Thanks, Wendy.
Thanks.
The first 6 months of the current agricultural trade year are in the books.
The U.S. ag trade year reached its halfway point in March. And according to USDA economist James Kaufman, at the halfway point,
in the first 6 months of the fiscal year, ag exports were $93.7 billion, which is 1% below 2024. In comparison, ag imports were $114.4 billion, which is 13% above 2024.
An increase in the ag trade imbalance over the first 6 months of the fiscal year.
Imports exceeded exports by $20.8 billion in the first half of the fiscal year, growing significantly from the $7.1 billion posted this time in 2024.
The continued growth path of imports is fueled by a strong U.S. dollar, increased consumption in a growing economy, and some importation ahead of anticipated tariffs.
Import growth has been strong across almost all commodity groups.
I'm Ron Bain reporting for the U.S. Department of Agriculture in Washington, D.C.
The National Corn Growers Association applauded the new bilateral trade agreement that increases access for American agricultural products to the United Kingdom, including ethanol. During the announcement, officials indicated tariffs on U.S. ethanol will drop to 0, which NCGA President Kenneth Hartman Jr. says is great news. Growth Energy CEO Emily Score says it's especially great news for ethanol after recent record American ethanol exports to the UK. The markets, they're next. Every time you use biodiesel, you're fueling more than your engine. You're investing in Ohio's farmers, reducing emissions and creating cleaner air for all of us. Did you know biodiesel adds 13% in value to every bushel of soybeans grown? That's good for farms, good for families, and good for the future. Drive with purpose. Choose biodiesel. Learn how at soyohio.org.
Nearly 90% of farmers say that financial worries, constantly changing market conditions, and other uncontrollable variables take a toll on their mental well-being. Add in the weather and family dynamics, well, it's a lot to handle alone. But did you know farmers and their families can receive free confidential services from licensed professionals? Support is available 24/7 to help with the challenges you face. Look for Farm Family Wellness Alliance under the Resources tab at farmfoundation.org. Take care of yourself. Your well-being matters.
The market's brought to you by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance online at seedconsultants.com. At the Board of Trade, July corn $4.48, down a penny and 3/4. December corn $4.45 1/2, up 3 1/2. July beans $10.71 1/4, up 19 1/2. November beans $10.57 1/2, up 27. July wheat $5.15 1/4, down 6 1/2. At the Mercantile Exchange, June cattle $216.82, up $2.15. May hogs $90.72, up 35 cents. August feeder cattle $306.37, up $6.07. This is the Ohio AgNet.